Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video by yours truly. I am currently sitting in my chair like L from Death Note again. And I feel I've taken a good degree of time to consider the variables of each banner. And now I can present these variables to you and give you the correct amount of calculations to figure out what you need to do to make your account better. So stick around. Yes, I believe I have valuable information. Anyways, these kind of videos are generally for the newer player or the player who doesn't just try so hard at the game. You're not as informed about the value of each character and you're interested in knowing which banner you should be using your Stellar Jades on. This is not for the veteran player. This is not for the guy who gets sweaty at the game. It's for the newer audience and the audience that's to come for the PS5. So let's get into it. I'll give you my advice as I've been playing this game nonstop every single day since its release. I have a good degree of knowledge. So let's start off with the first banner, Jingliu, the Ice Waifu, coming very soon. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this is the best free-to-play value, hands down, out of her banner and Topaz banner, and Seele has the same exact 4 stars. Tingyun is literally a 6-star presented to us as a 4-star character. She is debatably the top 2 most valuable characters in the entirety of the game. Support characters are what enable you to do work with your DPSs. Her and Bronya are at the pinnacle of the meta and have been since the game's release. Tingyun is very, very strong. I cannot stress to you that enough. She does everything. She gives energy recharge, which is exclusively available to her as of now out of any other character in the game. She gives speed boosts with her E1. She gives an attack boost with her benediction buff that's around the range of 500 to 600 to 700, depending on the investment in your Tingyun that you have. And then she also gives a fat amount of damage bonus to the person of choice with her ult as well. And she is quite literally the only character in the game doing so many things: a speed boost, a damage bonus, and a flat attack boost, giving you energy recharge. Like, she just does it all. So picking her up is just an invaluable asset to your account, no matter who you are. Now, Shui is a 5-star DPS presented to you as a 4-star, whom you also get for free on your account, no matter who you are. It's a free 1 copy of Shui given to everyone that plays this game eventually. And if you don't own Seele, I'm going to keep it a stack with you. Seele mains are not going to like this, but Shui at E4 or higher is just as strong as a Seele. That's just the truth. It's just one of those characters that's incredibly cracked. And since you already get a copy of her for free, you are 100% want to pull on this banner just to get her up to E4, because once you do, this changes everything. Mtash, I love you, bro. Now, with regards to Sampo, that is the 1 brick of this account. Now, Sampo mains are going to be salty, but Sampo is incredibly goddamn mid until you get Kafka. Once you get Kafka, you can break shields with Sampo, and then Kafka can re-trigger his break effect wind dot, which is incredibly broken. Not to mention, once you get his E4 unlocked, he does contribute to a very decent amount of damage, but he really shines the most inside of Kafka compositions. And if you don't own Kafka, which you can't, coming October 10th for PS5 users and newer players, there's just no point in really building up a Sampo. Now again, the Sampo mans are going to try and make the argument, well, he's good at breaking shields and his E4 doesn't. Listen, don't listen to him, man. Don't build up that Sampo until you get yourself a Kafka, unless you're one of those people that's like, I play who I like, and that's perfectly fine. But if you're listening to this video in terms of value, you're gonna want to put your money on Tingyun and your resources on Tingyun and Shui. Now, of course, let's get into Jingliu. I think Jingliu is gonna be very, very strong. The problem with the ice element is it doesn't show up as much in the upper floors of the MOC. And that's really up to Hoyoverse and how many times they want to put the ice element as a weakness. But you always will see lightning, quantum, wind, and imaginary so much. I want to say, and this is an open-ended discussion, comment down below if you guys disagree with me, the veterans who are watching this video just to watch it because you got nothing better else to do. Yeah, let me know what you think. I personally believe that the ice element just doesn't appear as often, and maybe that can change. It very well could. But I want you to be considerate that Jingliu is a phenomenal DPS that is a bit hindered because she's the ice element that doesn't show up. So you have to depend on when Hoyoverse is going to put that inside of the cycles. But apart from that, if you're concerned about her damage and her performance, you can put that to rest. I've taken a gander at her kit and it looks absolutely fantastic. So, and she's a destruction character. She can do single target damage and AoE damage. So I think Jingliu is an absolute fantastic option. Let's just go ahead and get that out the way. Now, to conclude the assessment of the Jingliu banner, I'm sure a number of you are probably thinking, what if I have Yanxing built up? Do I need Jingliu? No, I guess you can say you don't. But is Jingliu 3 times better than Yanxing? Or is she going to be? Yes, she is, because she can probably almost do the exact same single target damage as him at E0, while dealing way more AoE damage and having a much more skill point friendly kit, given that when she enters the spectral state, whatever it's called, she doesn't consume any skill points, which is huge, nor does she have to worry about having a shield on to make her kit perform optimally. And if you're somebody who's a little bit more on the higher budget side and you end up unlocking her E1, well, now she's going to be doing more single target damage than Yanxing as well. So absolutely, it is worth investing in Jingliu if that is the question you have or a concern you may have. But do you need her? Of course not. Nobody needs these characters. We just want them. But let's move on to the next banner. With regards to this banner, I am of the belief that Topaz is the higher value pick than Jingliu, and that is because Topaz happens to be one of the most unique DPSs, quote unquote, that I've seen in this game thus far. She is not only capable of dealing very good damage, she's also capable of being a support simultaneously to follow up attack synergies such as Jingyuan, Himiko, Clara, and even Herta. Now Kafka, not as much, but because she has such a reliable follow-up attack, I think even Kafka will work with her as well, but that still seems to be in the air with me in terms of wrapping my head around it. But ironically, you probably still want to pull on this banner anyway, because all 3 characters are actually very synergistic with Kafka. Luca and Sushang, as of now, are the only characters in the game that can enable the bleed dot to be re-triggered by Kafka, and both of them work with Kafka. It's just honestly up to a preference of yours, but they are both, without a shadow of a doubt, Kafka synergies. Guinevere is going to be in that same exact category. She's going to be a new dot enabler that comes with the pyro element that also has a vulnerability damage bonus that just basically helps everyone deal more damage, period. So if you're a Kafka enjoyer, you're probably going to want to roll on this banner, even if Kafka's synergy isn't the greatest with Topaz, which I think it's going to be actually pretty damn good, because Numby attacks more the more people do follow-up attacks, and Kafka does them very easily. Topaz is very skill point friendly because she auto attacks, because her auto attack's a follow-up attack. I know that's a lot of rambling. Blood was waffling at Waffle House right there, wasn't I? But seriously, guys, it's high value no matter how you spin it. But with regards to Topaz, she is going to be, I think, just an invaluable character. She's future proof, man. She gives a 50% follow-up attack damage bonus that is vulnerability induced, which means it's separate from the additive damage bonus multiplier that's on a formula. So that is just so goddamn strong for Jingyuan, Himiko, and Herta and Clara. I mean, God, it's just such a monstrous debuff. Now it's only on one person, but that's all you need it on. AoE is usually a health pool that you can clear no problem with your main DPSs. And then again, when more follow-up attack characters come out down the road, guess what? Topaz is going to be there to help them out. So I think she is a fantastic pickup for anybody who can afford it, just because of what I just mentioned there alone. Now, finally, getting into Seele. This is gonna be an interesting conversation. Now, a lot of people seem to think I hate on Seele. I don't. I just think Seele mains are cringes. That's about it. But Seele is actually a very strong DPS that is very well rounded, and I actually think she's the best DPS to pick up out of the other 2 DPSs, given that she does good enough damage to clear all the content in the game, and given that she's Quantum Element. Quantum Element is one of the most prevalent elements in the entire game with regards to anything. You go into the Swarm Disaster, Quantum's always there. You go into the upper floors of the MOC, Quantum is always that final element on one or the other floor. Go into Simulated Universe, same exact scenario. Quantum is just the most popular element in the game that's just always showing up. And if it doesn't show up and you have a Silver Wolf, you can force it to show up. So because of these scenarios, I think Seele is a great option to pick up for, actually, let me walk that back. I'm not gonna say she's a great option to pick up, because the other problem is she's gotten power crept, and I think she can continue to get power crept as the game progresses. I think she's starting to come off that high, and just better options are coming out that are just overall performing better than her in terms of value. But what I will say here is that she's strong enough to clear the content in the game. So if you do like her, pick her up, sure. Again, quantum element's well-rounded, but keep in mind that better DPS are going to come out. They just won't be as universally well-rounded as her, because I think Jingliu, for instance, is going to be much stronger than Seele, but there's not going to be scenarios where everyone's weak to the ice element, and therefore Jingliu might fall down in value because of that. So I don't know, I think that's something to consider, but should you pick up your Seele over a Topaz? I don't think so. I think Topaz's value is going to be much better in the longevity of the game. There is one thing I would like to add in there for Seele, and that is if you don't own a Bronya or a Tingyun as a new player, your Seele is going to be quite goddamn weak. I won't lie to you. In order for Seele to actually perform quite optimally, you need a Bronya and a Tingyun. And if you don't have either one of these characters, your Seele is probably going to be Booty Cheek Chronicles. Then again, you could make that same argument for the Jingliu scenario as well. So, food for thought, but that's going to be the entirety of my thoughts as of now. I can't really think of anything else. YouTube, feel free to comment down below and provide your own input on this. There's probably more things that I forgot to mention that could be of value to the newer player and to the casual. So thanks for watching. As always, I brought you guys some good insight, and I'll catch you on the flip side.